more common for pickiness to be attributed to Black women because it's almost like almost like we should just be happy. We should just manage whatever. Again, oh, y'all too picky. Y'all want too much. But it's like I feel like
y'all gonna be lonely.
Yeah, but I feel like if my non-Black counterpart says the things that she wants that I want, like oh, she wants a guy who has a decent job, or she wants a guy who has an apartment, she wants a guy who has a car. I feel like no one's gonna call her picky.
This is Nana.
And I'm Ngozi, and welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to be talking about something that's very important to us, basically the whole idea of what being picky is. Because, you know, I feel like in terms of like dating and all this stuff, I know as a part of also getting older and being more mature, maybe learning yourself more, I just feel like when you hear people sometimes talk and you're on the other side listening, it's easy to jump to conclusion and say, they seem like they're being a little picky. But it's like, is that how you sound too? Like, is that when you list out what you want in a partner, if someone may be looking at you like you're kind of being picky too? Like, I know, like, to me, I look at being picky almost like an immature thing. Like when you're younger, oh, he has to be this height, he has to wear this type of clothes, he has to be this, he has to be that, he has to be that. And there is a difference between like just having your preferences and just focusing on the wrong things or not really being, or just being too selective, I guess. But if someone could say that's just them having standards, is what they want that's what they want in a partner.
You gotta spend forever with someone.
Yeah, so they just feel like you have to do your work, and I think it is something that's attributed to women more as they get a little older, because I feel like when you're younger and you have these demands, it's not really paid attention. It's not really paid attention to because it's like, okay, like you're young, like you have all these options. But as you get a little older, entering your late 20s, it's like when you start saying certain things, even your parents, my mother could be like, wow, you guys are worried about the wrong things. That's like it's very easy for you to come off as being picky. So to me, I already said about what I think being picky. I think being picky is maybe being like overly selective. And I think it's an emphasis on you like being selective about things that aren't really that important, quote unquote.
No, I don't. I think, in my opinion, I don't think you can be called picky if what you're looking for in a partner you possess in yourself. That's just me. So, because if I could say, if I have all the qualities, then why can't I meet someone that has the qualities as well? Exactly. I feel like you being picky means, okay, let's say
I don't have a job, I want a man who has a job.
Oh, exactly. I'm not in shape, I want a man with a six-pack. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm short, I want a man that's tall. Like, I feel like any quality I'm looking for in a partner, I possess in myself. You know, I'm not rich yet. That's maybe the one thing that, let me stop. Besides that, okay, I want a man that has a decent job. I have a decent job. I want a man that's tall. I'm very tall. I want a man that takes care of his body. I go to the gym, I take care of my body. I want a man who got fearing. I'm God fearing. I want a man that goes to church. I go to church. Like, you know, so like how can you call me picky when everything I'm looking for in a partner I have? I'm not looking for anything. I didn't say the guy has to have a Maserati or he has to drive G-Class. I'm like, I don't have that. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for a man that has every designer in the world. I don't have that. You know,
we talk about this. The reason why I think that it's easy for you to be called picky is when you're desiring things that the people around you cannot give you. So like I said, we talk about it all the time. I think is especially more common for pickiness to be attributed to Black women because it's almost like we should just be happy. We should just manage whatever. Again, oh, y'all too picky. Y'all want too much. But it's like I feel like
y'all gonna be lonely.
Yeah, but I feel like if my non-Black counterpart says the things that she wants that I want, like oh, she wants a guy who has a decent job, or she wants a guy who has an apartment, she wants a guy who has a car, I feel like no one's gonna call her picky.
She wants a man who has citizenship.
Yeah, no one's gonna call her picky. No one's gonna say you're being too picky. But I feel like it's almost with a lot of Black women, I feel like we're almost made to feel as if we should be grateful
that someone's looking at
us.
That
we should just be okay. Like it's hard out there. You know, there's not a lot of good men,
which has some truth to it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of validity to that. So I think it's especially more common for you to see Black women being called picky,
especially when they hit a certain age. I said like early
30s, or they have their own personal accomplishments. Because of course it's easy, like it's real. If you've gone so hard for yourself, if you've done so much, for the most part, you're gonna expect more from the people around you. So it's easy for someone to be called picky who maybe a girl is like let's say she's like a dentist or something. She has a good job. She went to school for how many years? Most likely she may want someone who has things that she has or can offer things that she has, and then it's like, oh, you're being picky.
That hard to just be something.
Exactly. Then it's like, oh, you're being picky. But you know what I mean? So I think that's also,
she's not being picky because she's looking for what she has.
Yeah, I think that's also an unfair narrative that's pushed on a lot of black women is that we're not put to the same standard as our non-black counterparts are. It's very easy for people to just, our own people, to just call us picky when we just have a few demands or we just want a few things. It's like, oh my God, you're so picky. But it's like, am I really asking for much? And I think that's when it goes back to the point of what being really picky is that when you're saying, when you're, like she said she wants a guy who's taller, she's 6 foot, 6'1". The average black man is not 6'1". The average man period is not 6'1". So it's like little stuff like picky? That when you say stuff. I'm not saying that makes you picky, but you don't, to the sound of some the guy who you're sitting next to is 5'6".
It's not about how many things you have.
It's not about how many things that you necessarily want. Like right now, I can want 2 things from a guy. I need a guy who makes at least $500,000, and I need a guy who drives a Maserati. Only name 2 things, but those 2 things are highly it's very hard to achieve.
That's right.
So someone could have a list of 10 things. Oh, his hair has to be black. He has to go to church on Sunday. He has to have at least went to high school.
My list was basic though, because
you could have. I'm saying someone can have a list of 10 things, but they're things that are easy to get,
basic things.
And someone can have a list of like 3 things, but they're like, wow. Like the average person has, they don't have anything close to that. So it's like it's not necessarily the number of things you want. But the list I gave you,
was that a picky list?
A guy who goes to church, a guy who is tall. I think the height part.
Athletic,
not necessarily. If you're saying 6-pack or something, if you just say someone that goes to the gym,
you don't have to have no pack.
That's
not
fine.
even go to the gym. Just you take it like you're not big. I can't date a guy that's chubby. I'm not interested in anyone that's bigger than me. Like that's all I'm saying is like I don't think the list. I think the height was killing us though.
I think they're right. If you're saying you want to date a black man,
I didn't say. Did I put that in my list?
Okay, so I'm just saying like I think that's the biggest. I just think it depends on how much you're limiting yourself subconsciously or consciously in terms of who you're around and the options you have to date. That's going to make you sound as if you're picky. Exactly. Because if I say I want this and that, but I'm willing to date someone from any ethnicity, I'm going to have more options. And then it's not going to be as easy for me to say, but if I'm saying, oh, he has to be Puerto Rican, and then he has to be this height, and he has to be this, it's like, yo, like you're already pushing out so many other people from your options. So I think that's what it comes down to is like how picky you are. I think it's just the things that you're picky about can make the biggest difference.
It's like girls be worried about dressing.
Yeah, like we could fix that. Like a lot, I have friends. I'm like, nah, he can't wear those sneakers. He can't wear this. He can't shop. Like there's a lot of things that a lot of people are looking at, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. But I'm just saying in this day and age, those things are not important to me. I think that being picky is almost like a high school thing. It's almost like an immature thing. Like, oh, I want a guy who wears Jordans. I want a guy who it's like those things are not important. So that's why I also think being picky could be linked to one of the things that are not important. Like caring about the things that are not important.
The wrong things.
Exactly. To care about the wrong things. Oh, you don't do this, or you don't wear this, or it's like the person as a whole. Are they someone that you can see yourself with? Forget the exterior things. Forget maybe if their teeth or their dressing or their stomach even.
Attractiveness.
Just as a person.
No, but attraction is important. Let's not sit here and try to minimize the importance of attraction, because you need to be attracted to who you're going to be with for the rest of your life. Like you need to be attracted to them. I think you should.
Attraction can build and it can grow with time.
It can build, but it has to be some type of decent level for it to build upon. Like there's no way you're going to tell me there's certain guys I could just look at and there's no way in my life I'll ever be attracted to them. On that note, just to end it, do you think you're picky? Is it insulting when people call you picky? Did you notice around a certain age when people started coming with the, oh, are you being picky? Just in general, what does being picky really mean? Does it differ for men and women? Does it differ by race? Do you notice a different tone when a man is called picky? Is it necessarily as negative as when a woman is called picky? Do you think it's something that definitely is different and how it's approached based on your gender? So let us know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.